maybe these protagonists should have stayed home. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times the hero accidentally helped the villain. For this list, we're looking at movies where the protagonist unintentionally assisted the antagonist. Since we will be talking about major plot details, a spoiler alert is now in effect. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10. Many watch the cursed videotape, The Ring franchise. The rules in this horror franchise are simple. If you watch a cursed videotape, a ghostly girl named Samara will kill you in 7 days.
Have you heard about this videotape that kills you when you watch it?
What kind of tape?
All you have to do to avoid a grisly death is resist the urge to watch this deadly VHS. But throughout the franchise, dozens of people manage to fall victim to the curse. Whether they watch it willingly out of morbid curiosity or are tricked into viewing the videotape, every person who lays eyes on it unintentionally helps Samara keep killing. The moral of the franchise is as black and white as the tape itself. If someone asks you to watch a creepy videotape, just say no. Number 9. Tony Stark helps fix Extremis, Iron Man 3. In the 1990s, Dr. Maya Hansen was working on Extremis, a formula that would allow living beings to regenerate their bodies.
If I'm right, we can access the area of the brain that governs repair and chemically recode it.
Unfortunately, her test subjects tended to heat up or explode. Things started to turn around when she met Tony Stark. After a late-night hookup, he helped her improve the formula. But before Tony finished fixing the explosive glitch, he left and didn't contact her for over a decade. His abandonment forced Maya to take the improved formula to the vengeful Aldrich Killian.
You know what my old man used to say to me? One of his favorite of many sayings. The early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese.
Killian used the research to give himself fiery superpowers, arrange people's deaths, and endanger Tony's loved ones. The villain's reign of terror could have been avoided if Tony had not helped Maya with her research.
Ooh, is that hot in there?
Number 8. Charles helps Eric become Magneto, X-Men First Class. When Eric Lyncher was a child, his mother was executed by a powerful mutant named Sebastian Shaw. The murder initially set Eric down a dark path of vengeance. However, he started to become a better person after befriending Professor Charles Xavier. This came to a crashing halt when the duo confronted Shaw. After Shaw nearly killed Eric with overwhelming power, Charles used his telepathic powers to freeze Shaw in place. Upon seeing his old nemesis rendered helpless, Eric brutally murdered him and stole his anti-telepathy helmet.
3.
Both of these actions made it easier for Eric to transition into the supervillain Magneto. Charles only interfered in the battle to help his friend live in the light. Unfortunately, the professor's actions furthered Eric's descent into darkness.
Take off your blinders, brothers and sisters. The real enemy is out there.
Number 7. Peter gives Mysterio E.D.I.T.H, Spider-Man Far From Home. Tony Stark's E.D.I.T.H system allows the user to command an advanced weapons system with a pair of glasses. Upon his death, he entrusted this advanced technology to the teenage Peter Parker. But after nearly assassinating a classmate with E.D.I.T.H, Spider-Man gave the glasses to his new ally Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio.
Welcome to the Avengers.
Unfortunately for Peter, Mysterio used the system to launch a vicious attack in London before framing Spider-Man for homicide. Peter definitely should have hidden the E.D.I.T.H glasses in a secure case. However, we also think the heroic Tony Stark deserves to share the blame here. Who gives a 16-year-old access to an incredibly dangerous weapons system?
You can't trick me anymore.
Number 6. Star-Lord helps Thanos keep the Gauntlet. Avengers Infinity War. There was no one Peter Quill loved more in the galaxy than Gamora. When she was taken by the wicked Thanos, he became desperate to get her back. Unfortunately, Thanos sacrificed her as part of his plan to complete the weapon known as the Infinity Gauntlet. Peter only found out about Gamora's death when he and his allies were trying to remove the weapon from the villain's hand. Overcome by rage, Peter attacked.
No, you did not!
His fit of rage ruined the plan and allowed Thanos to reacquire the gauntlet. The villain later used the weapon to decimate billions of lives. While Peter's rage was more than understandable, every Marvel fan wishes he had waited until the heroes had the gauntlet before getting his revenge. Number 5. Hammond makes his dinosaurs fertile. The Jurassic Park franchise. Eccentric CEO John Hammond made plenty of mistakes when he ran Jurassic Park, but his biggest blunder boiled down to biology. Hammond intended to keep the dinosaur population low by making them all female.
And how do you know they can't breed? Well, because all the animals in Jurassic Park are female.
But his researchers gave the prehistoric creatures DNA from West African frogs. That DNA allowed the animals to change their genders and reproduce.
You know what this is? It's a dinosaur egg. The dinosaurs are breeding.
Allowing the dinosaurs to breed has already caused issues throughout the series. And since dinosaurs escaped into the human world in the last movie, they may be able to reproduce and run amok in the future. All Hammond had to do was use different frog DNA. But since he didn't, the world has to worry about raptor families leaping into their backyards.
Give me the eggs.
Number 4. Elizabeth Swann signals Barbossa. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. After stealing magical Aztec medallions from a chest, Barbossa and his crew were cursed with a twisted immortality. The only way to end their torture was to restore everything they stole from the chest. Although the pirates found most of the treasure, they couldn't find one piece, which Elizabeth had on land, until one fateful morning. Elizabeth woke up and decided to wear the medallion as a necklace before being strapped into a corset.
Fine gentleman, don't you think? He fancies you, you know.
When the restraining garment caused her to faint and fall into the ocean, the medallion sent a magical pulse to Barbossa's crew. The pirates cut down tons of innocent people in Elizabeth's town to get their chance at breaking their curse. If only she'd worn a different accessory.
Hello, chum.
Number 3. Neo makes Smith more powerful. The Matrix franchise. At the end of The Matrix, Neo had one final showdown with his nemesis Agent Smith. Neo used his powers to literally jump inside the evil computer program's body and blow him up. In the sequel, Agent Smith returned with increased strength and the ability to clone himself. The villain revealed that he had gained these powers due to the way the hero killed him.
And now here I stand because of you, Mr. Anderson. Because of you, I'm no longer an agent of this system.
Smith eventually becomes such a threat that Neo has to sacrifice himself to end the villain. If the one had just shot the evil computer program, he might be enjoying retirement with Trinity on a digital beach. Unfortunately, Neo's flashy method of killing Agent Smith only created a much worse enemy. Number 2. Marty makes Biff rich. Back to the Future Part 2. Marty originally traveled 30 years into the future to save his family, but his goals change when he finds Gray's sports almanac. Marty planned to use the book's future knowledge of how various sports events ended to bet on games when he returned to the past.
Marty!
I can't lose.
Marty, up here!
Hey, Doc, what's going on?
But when his friend Doc Brown catches on, Marty's forced to throw the almanac away. Both heroes were unaware that the devious Biff was watching them.
So, Doc Brown invented a time machine.
He took the almanac, stole their time machine, and made his past self into a corrupt mogul. Marty Marty and Doc spend the rest of the movie trying to undo an alternate reality where Biff reigns with his riches. And to think, the bully would have never even tasted power if the heroes had burned the almanac to begin with.
Oh my God, it's your father.
My father. You're supposed to be in Switzerland, you little son of a bitch!
I know we all do this, but when I saw the title of this list, I yelled, if Back to the Future 2 isn't on here, I swear to God. Well, fortunately I got my way, but of course there is one classic 80s movie hero who helps his nemesis even more than Marty McFly. So, let's look through the honorable or dishonorable mentions, and then we will stumble upon our top pick.
Where's the plutonium?
Prophecies can only be retrieved by those about whom they are made. Which is lucky for you, really.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Indy Helps the Nazis, Raiders of the Lost Ark. During the first Indiana Jones movie, Nazis sought the legendary Ark of the Covenant in the hopes of gaining untold power. But they can only find it by decoding the writing on an ancient headpiece. Fortunately, Indy got to the headpiece before the Nazis, decoded it, and discovered exactly where to look.
Belloc staff is too long. They're digging in the wrong place.
He kept this information hidden and, just kidding, he immediately went out and found the Ark himself. Shortly after his discovery, the Nazis stole it from him.
So once again, Jones, what was briefly yours is now mine.
If Indy had not uncovered the Ark, the Nazis may not have found it before the war ended. And even if they had, the artifact's powers would have killed them all when they opened it. Indy would have been doing everyone a favor if he had just kept the Ark's location to himself. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.
Wearing you down.